I've got 5 ways you can support someone with BPD, and the 5th one is all about you. Let's get to it. So in general, supporting someone with borderline personality disorder or BPD requires 3 things: compassion, consistency, and healthy boundaries. The core principle here is to practice validation while encouraging the use of healthy coping skills. Let's look at 5 constructive ways to support someone with BPD. So first is to master the art of validation. This is the most important skill. It doesn't mean agreeing, but it means acknowledging and accepting that a person's feelings and experiences are real and understandable, even if you don't agree with their actions or perceptions. Now, there are 3 ways that you could do this. First is to reflect and acknowledge. You can say things like, "That sounds incredibly painful," or "I can see why you feel so overwhelmed right now." So maybe you don't agree or wouldn't have the same reaction, but you're validating what they're experiencing. Next, you want to avoid minimizing. So never dismiss someone's feelings by saying, "It's not that big of a deal," or "You're overreacting." Not helpful. Third is to validate the emotion, not the action. So you can validate their pain without endorsing a harmful behavior. For example, "I understand you're hurt by so-and-so's actions, and it's okay to feel furious, but smashing your phone isn't safe or isn't a good idea." The second one is to promote and reinforce skills. So since BPD is often treated with Dialectical Behavior Therapy, DBT, you want to familiarize yourself with the goals of the skills and gently encourage their use. I'm going to give you 3 strategies for this. So first is to encourage pausing. So if they're escalating, you can gently ask, "Do you want to pause and use one of your distress tolerance skills right now?" Next is to focus on the goal. Remind them of their wise mind goal to choose a response that integrates both feeling and reason. And then you want to avoid solving. So don't try to fix their problems. Just help them access their own tools. For example, what skill did your therapist suggest for this kind of crisis? The third overall strategy is to maintain clear and consistent boundaries. So this is crucial for both your well-being and their recovery. Clear boundaries reduce fear and chaos in the relationship. First, you want to be specific. So you want to define your limits clearly, like, "I'm available to talk until 9 p.m., but after that, I need to rest." Be consistent. Enforce the boundaries every single time. Inconsistency just leads to confusion and testing or pushing of the limits. You also want to model healthy behavior. So by maintaining your limits, you teach your friend or loved one how a healthy, stable relationship operates. And lastly, you want to schedule time. So instead of allowing crises to dominate, schedule regular, predictable time to foster that stability. The 4th strategy is to practice emotional stability yourself. So people with BPD rely heavily on others to co-regulate their emotions a lot of times. If you react with intensity, it's just going to escalate the situation. So first, you want to stay calm. Speak in a calm and measured tone, especially when they're agitated. Next is don't take it personally. Understand that intense anger or devaluation is often a symptom of the disorder. It's called splitting, not necessarily a reflection of how they truly feel about you long term. You also want to take space when needed. So if you feel overwhelmed, it's healthy to say, "I need to take 5 minutes to breathe, and then we can continue this conversation." And number 5 is seek your own support and education. So educate yourself, learn about BPD and the specific treatments like DBT. Also find your support. So talk to a therapist, partner, trusted friend about the stress of supporting someone with BPD. Don't rely on your friend to be your emotional confidant regarding their own challenges or their own disorder. Stay tuned for the next video where we're reviewing specific phrases you can use across 6 types of validation. Now, I understand that these strategies aren't necessarily going to work for everyone because they're not necessarily in DBT or specific skills training or therapy for BPD. So that's why there are lots of different options. You can pick and choose. You can change the statements to fit your unique situation. If there's something I can help you with specifically, I'd love for you to message me or drop that in the comments. I'll do a video and we can all learn at the same time.